सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्। अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैर्वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 14 श्लोक 14। यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदोत्तमविदान् लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते। In this adhyaya, we are discussing the three gunas, namely sattva, rajas and tamas. Already we have discussed the characteristics of these three gunas and how they bind an individual. Now, these three gunas have a role in determining our next life also. An individual's rebirth, in which body he will be reborn, it is determined by the predominance of a particular guna in the present life. suppose sattva guna is predominant in the present life, then the individual will have viveka. Sattva guna facilitates viveka in the mind. He will know what is good, what is evil, what is dharma and what is adharma. A sattvika person will have such a discrimination. Then he will do the shastriya karma, the karmas that are enjoined by the shastra, and he will try his best to avoid the ashastriya karmas, the karmas that are prohibited by the shastra. Therefore, as a result of the shastriya karma, after death, he will go to higher lokas. He might as well go to the Brahma Loka or any other higher loka. Now, suppose Rajas is predominant in this life, then what will happen? If Rajas is predominant, he will have a lot of desires, greed, etc. It is the characteristic of Rajas. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam. Rajas generates desires, gives rise to desires. Therefore, one will have desire, attachment, etc. As a consequence, he will end up doing both punya and papa. He may do some amount of punya also, some shastriya karma also he may do. Meanwhile, his desires will motivate him to do some ashastriya karma also, some adharma also. Therefore, as a result, he will be born in a janma, in a body that is a mixture of both punya and papa. Punya and papa are present in almost equal proportion, and such janma is Manushya Janma, human birth. then what happens if he is tamoguna predominant? In this janma, if he is tamoguna pradhana, tamoguna is predominant, then he will have a lot of ignorance, aviveka. And because of the aviveka, he will not have any motive to do the shastriya karma. He may not do any shastriya karma at all. Instead, he will mostly do ashastriya karma. His life will be adharma predominant. As a result, he will be reborn in an animal janma, in an animal body. This is being told in Shloka 14, 15 as well as 16. Yada sattve pravriddhetu pralayam yati dehabhrit. A dehabhrit, an individual is called dehabhrit. Deham vibharti iti dehabhrit. One who owns a body, one who identifies with the body is called dehabhrit. There is janma only if you are a dehabhrit. A jnani, one who has atma jnana, he does not identify with the body. He has given up the identification with the body. Therefore, he is not a dehabhrit. He has transcended the body. Ashariraha. The Upanishad refers to a jnani as ashariraha. Ashariram vavasantam na priya priye sprashataha. Since she does not have identification with the body, he is free from both punya and papa. Therefore, he does not have a janma. He is not born again. Whereas, this person is a dehabhrit. He identifies with the body, identifies as the karta and bhokta, as the doer and enjoyer. That is why we have to discuss what kind of janma he will get after death. Yada sattve pravriddhetu, when sattva is predominant, pralayam yati, at that time he attains pralaya, means he leaves the body, he dies. Here pralaya does not mean resolution of the universe. Pralaya means death, leaving the physical body, leaving the sthula sharira is pralaya. He died being a sattvika person, meaning during his life sattva guna was predominant. He led a sattvika life. He followed shastriya karma, and then he left the body. Tada, then uttama vidam amalan lokan pratipadyate. He goes to the higher loka. Higher loka is referred to as uttama vidam amalan lokan. Uttama vidam means the people who meditate on Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha upasakanam. Uttama means Hiranyagarbha. Uttamavit means Hiranyagarbha upasaka. One who meditates on Hiranyagarbha according to Shastra, he goes to the Hiranyagarbha loka, Brahma loka. Therefore, Uttamavidam lokan refers to the Brahma loka, the higher loka. Amalan, another adjective to the loka, is Amalan loka, the loka which is free from mala, which is free from impurity, meaning the loka which is attained by punya. Punya loka. Since it is punya loka, there will be plenty of pleasure and very less of dukkha. Insignificant amount of dukkha. He goes to such a loka. Uttamavidam amalan lokan pratipadyate. He attains. Shloka 15. Rajasi pralayam gatva.
Rajasi pralayam gatva.
Karma sangishu jayate.
Karma sangishu jayate.
Tatha pralinastamasi.
Tatha pralinastamasi.
Mudhayonishu jayate.
Mudhayonishu jayate.
Now, in this shloka, Bhagavan explains the course an individual takes after death if he dies with the Rajoguna and Tamoguna respectively. Rajasi pralayangatva, Rajasi pravriddhe sati, when Rajas is predominant, he has led a Rajoguna pradhana life. During his life, during major part of his life, Rajoguna was predominant, meaning he did not entertain viveka. Instead, he entertained lobha, greed, etc., desire, etc. As a result, his life was oriented towards fulfilling his material desires. As a result, he has done both punya and papa. Therefore, after death, he is reborn as a human being. Bhagavan refers to a human being as karma sangi. Karma sangishu jayate. Human beings are called karma sanginaha because the human birth is predominantly associated with the karma. We are entitled to karmas, actions. In any other janma, like animal janma, etc., are there no karma? Even the dogs and cows are walking, running, etc. Yet, according to the Shastra, they are not doing any karma despite walking, running, etc. Because they don't have free will like human beings. Only the human beings can have the viveka and exercise his viveka in choosing a right action, in choosing to do the right action. An animal does what its instinct says. It does not think whether it is right or wrong, whether it is dharma or adharma. An animal cannot think, and it cannot even choose what it should do. It is programmed. An animal follows the program of the nature, follows its natural instinct. It cannot exercise any restraint. That is why, from the standpoint of Shastra, animals don't have karma. meaning they are not doing any fresh karma. Being born as an animal, it is a result of a karma. The jiva, who is now an animal, was a human being earlier. In the human birth, it has done some papa. As a result, now it has taken an animal janma. Now, in the animal janma, it can only exhaust its papa. Whereas, it cannot do any fresh karma in the animal janma. The papa which it has done earlier in the human birth, and the papa which has given it the animal janma, is exhausted in the animal janma. And after the animal janma is completed, in due course, once again it may be reborn as a human being. Then again it will start doing fresh karmas, punya, papa, etc. That is why only human beings are entitled to do karma. That is why Bhagavan refers to the Manushya Janma as karma sangi. Karma sangishu jayate means manushyeshu jayate. He is reborn as a human being. Because of the Rajoguna, he has done a mixture of punya and papa. That is why he is reborn as a human being. According to the Shastra, human birth is a mixture of punya and papa. Punyena punyam lokam jayati, papena papam, ubhabhyameva manushya lokam. The Upanishad says so. Ubhabhyameva manushya lokam. On account of both punya and papa, one gets manushya loka. That is why in this human birth we experience both pleasure and pain. At some point of time we will feel we are lucky. When we look at our life from one perspective, we feel we are lucky. Whereas from another perspective, we feel we are very unfortunate. You consider your positive things, your merits. I have this, I have that. When you compare yourself with somebody who is worse than yourself, then you feel you are lucky. Whereas when you compare yourself with somebody who is better off, in a better position than yourself, you feel you are unlucky. Therefore, the human birth is a mixture of both punya and papa. That is why, on account of Rajoguna, he is reborn as a human being. तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढ़योनिषु जायते. तथा and tamasi pralinaha, if he has left the body when rajoguna is predominant, when tamoguna is predominant, meaning in this life, in the present life, he was tamoguna pradhana. Tamoguna was predominant in him. On account of tamoguna, he did not entertain his viveka. He was full of aviveka, and therefore he did adharma alone, mostly adharma. As a result, मूढ़योनिषु जायते. He is reborn in मूढ़योनि, the bodies that are dull, meaning the bodies that don't have viveka. Like plants, animals, birds, etc. They don't have the ability to have viveka. What is right, what is wrong, they don't have the ability to discern. No free will. He is reborn in such bodies. Means he is reborn in the lower bodies, animals, plants, etc. कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलम् रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलम् Bhagavan sums up the idea conveyed in previous two shlokas. Karmanaha sukratasya ahuhu sattvikam nirmalam phalam. So, if sattva is predominant, one will do sukrita karma, means punya karma, shastriya karma, the karmas that are enjoined by the shastra is called sukrita karma, virtuous deeds. Its phala is nirmalam sattvikam. Its phala is nirmala, pure. Pure means it is free from dukkha. Almost free from dukkha. Some dukkha will be there, but almost free from dukkha. Dukkha is very less. Therefore, it is called nirmalam. And it is satvikam. Satvikam means sukham. Sukha, which is almost free from dukkha. Very little of dukkha. It is the phala of the sukrata karma. And who does sukrata karma? A sattvika person. If he is sattvika in this life, he will do sukrata karma, punya karma. As a result, in the following janma, he will get sattvika nirmala phala. Means he will enjoy the sukha, which is associated with negligible dukkha, negligible pain and sorrow in the higher lokas. Rajasastu phalam dukkham. The phala of rajoguna. Here rajas refers to rajasa karma. Rajasa karma. The karmas that are done on account of rajoguna. Means the karmas that are done on account of desires, attachment, etc. Such phala, such karma, rajasa karma leads to dukkham. Dukkham phalam. Its phala is dukkha. Vyakhyanakaras clarify dukkham ishritam sukham. Dukkham should be understood as dukkham ishritam sukham. It is not pure dukkha. It is dukkha associated with the sukha. A mixture of sukha and dukkha in human birth. 50-50 birth. So human birth is 50-50 janma. Because sukha is also there, dukkha is also there. Ajnanam tamasah phalam. Tamasah phalam. The result of tamo guna is ajnana. Ajnana refers to avivekaprayam dukkham. Here ajnana does not just mean ignorance. It means avivekaprayam dukkham. Dukkha. Too much of dukkha. With the aviveka. With the absence of clear understanding. There is no viveka and it is accompanied by dukkha. Implying the lower janmas, animal janma, etc. In the animal janmas, there is dukkha and there is aviveka. See, if in human janma there is dukkha. In some way we try to find a solution to our dukkha. The human beings have some understanding through which we can try to find a solution to our dukkha in some respects. There is heat, we will find a fan, AC, etc. Whereas in the animal janma, they have dukkha and they don't know how to get rid of the dukkha. Very limited means to get rid of the dukkha. Therefore, aviveka prayam dukkham. If a human being gets a disease, he will know, I have a disease, I should go to the doctor, etc. But an animal does not understand. It will have a disease. It does not know where to go, what solution to try. And you take the animal to the vet, to the doctor. You have taken your pet to the doctor. And the doctor tries to give medicine to the pet, to the dog. The dog does not accept it. It will run away, etc. Therefore, aviveka prayam dukkham. There is dukkha, and the dukkha is accompanied by lack of understanding. It is tamasaha phalam. Shloka 17. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam.
Sattvat sanjayate jnanam.
Rajaso lobha evacha.
Rajaso lobha evacha.
Pramadamohau tamaso.
Pramadamohau tamaso.
Bhavato jnanamevacha.
Bhavato jnanamevacha.
Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. Sattva facilitates jnana, means viveka. If there is sattva guna, one can get viveka jnana, clear understanding. Rajasaha lobha evacha. Rajoguna gives rise to lobha, greed. Whereas tamoguna gives rise to pramada, moha and ajnana. Tamasaha, from tamas, on account of tamas. Pramada mohau ajnanam evacha. sanjayate. Pramada, carelessness, moha, delusion, and ajnana, inability to understand the right and wrong, inability to understand things with the clarity. Even if somebody tells, he is not able to understand. A sattvika person himself will make effort to understand the things properly. Voluntarily, even without telling, a sattvika person will try to understand the right and wrong. You need not even tell him. If Rajoguna is predominant, he may not try to understand it voluntarily, but if somebody tells him, to some extent he will understand. Not completely, but to some extent he will understand. Yes, this is right, I should do this, etc. Whereas if there is tamoguna, if tamoguna is predominant, even if somebody tells, he is not going to understand. Therefore, ajnanam evacha, the inability to understand, even if somebody tells him, it is the result of tamoguna. Shloka 18. ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्थाः
ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्थाः
मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः
मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः
जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः
जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः
अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः
अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः.
Now, Bhagavan sums up the idea conveyed in Shloka 14 and 15. Once again, in another way. In Shloka 16 it was summed up. Now he sums it up again in Shloka 18. In Shloka 16 it was summed up in a different way. Here it is summed up in another way. Sattvasthaha urdhvam gachanti. Sattvasthaha, those who abide in sattva guna, they entertain sattvika qualities like viveka, etc. Urdhvam gachanti, they go upwards. After death, they go to higher janmas, higher lokas. Madhye tishthanti rajasaha. Rajasaha, rajoguna predominant individuals. Madhye tishthanti. they stand in the middle, meaning they come to the human birth. Human birth is in the middle, meaning it is not a higher birth like Devata Janma, etc. And it is not a lower birth also, like animal Janma, etc. Therefore, Madhye Tishtanti. They abide in the middle. They dwell in the middle. Whereas, Jaghanya Gunavrittisthaha Tamasaha. Tamasaha, Tamoguna Pradhana people who are Jaghanya Gunavrittisthaha. They take to the lowest type of guna as well as its characteristics. They take to the characteristics of the lowest guna. Means they entertain pramada, alasya, etc. As a consequence, they do papa, adharma. Such people, adhogachanti, they go downwards, they go to the lower janmas, animal janma, plant janma, etc. Thus, the three gunas determine three types of janmas. One is higher janma, which is punya pradhana janma, devata janma, etc. The bodies that are higher than human beings. Another is the lower janma, animal janma, plant janma, etc. It is determined by tamoguna. And another is mediocre, the middle one. It is determined by rajoguna. Therefore, the guna that we entertain in this life determines our following life. That is why, if one should get a better janma hereafter, he should entertain sattvika guna, sattva guna. He should entertain the qualities of sattva guna. Viveka. He should entertain viveka. Make effort to understand the right and wrong. And try to abide with his viveka. Do the shastriya karma. And avoid the ashastriya karma. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.